This is response to the haters. Shout out my haters. We got one fella right here, Peter from Mia, saying, bro, I'm more likely to witness Haley's comment than to see you actually fight in the ring. Nice jab, homie, but it's weak. Stop playing.
Hey, Pete was right. Yeah! Nice way to get it right, BBC. Nice way to get it right. Yeah! Sebastian Fundora is filling in for Keith one time to take on Tszyu March 30th. Let's go! Let's go! Oh, I'm fired up. A far better fight. Let me tell you something. You guys, there are a few of you in the war room saying, yo, ShowBizz, you're not talking about Tszyu versus Keith one time. And my whole thing is, if you guys ain't noticed, I wasn't that fired up for the fight. It was interesting, but in a experimental way, right? Listen, Keith one time, Thuyman, he's not active whatsoever. They were fighting at 155. Keith Thuyman ain't fought at 154 and for I don't know how long, but they're fighting at some kind of weird catch weight of 155. You know, Keith Thurman can't punch through a wet paper bag anymore. He'll bruise you up, though, but not the hitter. He's not one time anymore. Body of a chandelier. Like, I was kind of like, I wasn't that geeked up about, but Sebastian Fundora, this, I'm fired up about. Y'all know, I like Fundora. That guy can scrap. He got knocked out his last fight against Brian Mendoza, though. That was one hell of a shot. And hopefully Fundora learns from that. Because Fundora, he loves fighting in a phone booth, though he's 8 feet tall, right? But he loves fighting in a phone booth. And it's like, why are you doing that? But it's fun to watch. And he can swat, and he had a chin. Mendoza probably cracked them shits. All right? Hopefully he's adjusted to that, because he's going to have to watch Tszyu, who beat Brian Mendoza. That's right. Tszyu fought Mendoza after he beat Fundora. And now Fundora and Tszyu are fighting for a title, which Keith one time was not fighting for a title, fighting purposely at 155. He disrespected the WBO. I'm not sure what all happened there. But they weren't fighting for a title. Tszyu is now defending his title against Fundora, and this reminds me of back in the day. I know there's a lot of garbage people who say fighting leftovers and stuff like that. They're not boxing fans. They're trash. But back in the day, you know, Frazier fighting Foreman, Ali fought Foreman and Frazier and Ken Norton. They all were fighting each other. There was no such thing as leftover, that dumb shit, because we know in boxing styles make fights. The triangle theory doesn't work. All right, so you have, you know, Duran, Hearns, Leonard, Hagler, Duran versus Wilfred Benitez, and Sugar versus and Hearns versus and then they all fighting each other. Pepino Cuevas versus Hearns. That shit was hot because you want to see all the different matchups. Somebody can do better against an opponent, or it just wasn't their day, right? Just like Mendoza versus Fundora. Both can scrap. This is beautiful. And I'm going to tell you this, too. I'm going to jump Tszyu up in that fighters list. In the ShowBizz, the adult fighters list, he's going up. Now, he was on the fighters list for fighting all the time and fighting everybody he can. He's going to fight Fundora, 12-day notice, and shout out to Fundora. All right, here's the thing. Fundora was going to fight on that card anyway. I'm not sure all of you knew that. He was on the undercard. He was going to come on right before Isaac Cruz and Rolly, the co-main. So Fundora already had that date. He was fine. Now he's challenging Tszyu. All is right with the world. Now I'm fired up. Aesthetically, Tszyu versus Fundora, that's their main event. Forget the names. Forget the billboard. And I'm going to hype this shit up too. Forget that. I'm talking about, what did I say before? A lot of times, the undercard fights are the best fights. Like, make them Make the best fight of Joseph Parker and Zhang. Joseph Parker and Zhang should have been the main event, not AJ versus Francis Ngannou. That's ridiculous. To be the main event, I know they're bigger names, but make the better fight the main event, the better matchup. Fundora and Tszyu, that is a main event. Why? Because the fight is going to be good and entertaining. Forget the names. If you want to just watch names, type the name up on Word, on Microsoft Word. Type the names up and look at the names. But I'm talking about a better fight, far better. Fundora and Tszyu, far better. That's going to be a barn burner for as long as it lasts. And the thing is, there's no promises that Tszyu beats him. I have Tszyu, but there's no promise. If you never saw Fundora get knocked out by Mendoza, we would have been like, I don't know who wins this fight. That's what I'm saying. Fundora could have had just a bad night, or he definitely made that horrible mistake of leaving his chin in that way sky high in the air, thinking nobody can reach it. He's learned from that. All right, hopefully he's learned from it, but you can't teach an old dog new tricks. He may go back to it. He got that Paul Williams effect, right? Paul Williams was good for that. Welterweight, chin way up in the air, but nobody could hurt him. Moved up to middleweight, going nighty-night. Fundora, maybe he can learn from that a little bit. Tszyu's going to be battered and bruised. This is one hell. Now that card is hellacious. Now that card is a slugfest, action-packed card that I'm calling. March 30th, I'm hyped up. I'll be talking about it tomorrow on the Taco Tuesday. Now, this is the card that I'm behind, and this is the card I'm going to promote here on this channel, this community. ShowBizz Adult. I'm out.